And welcome to the 5A Boys State Championship here as a part of the Weekend of Champions on the NFHS Network. I'm Chase Hartzell, joined by Carlos Chicas, who will be on play-by-play for this one. And it's a special one to wrap up the day, as it will be the Lakeside Rams taking on the Russellville Cyclones. An exciting matchup between two teams who both have a state title under their belt in the last 5 years. For Lakeside, their last back in 2018, looking to get back on top of the mountain here today. And for the Cyclones, looking to make it back-to-back state titles and continue to build on what has been a dynasty up there in Russellville.
It's going to be a great match. Shout out to Brandon, our executive producer today on camera, who is getting it done. Didn't know he was from Guatemala descent. He asked me, "Are you from Guatemala?" And I said, "Yeah." He says, "My dad is from Guatemala." Or camera guy.
Well, there you go. Small world.
Yes, sir. Starting lineup for Lakeside Rams. Chase, what we got?
All right, looking at the starting lineup for my alma mater of Lakeside, the goalkeeper today will be Connor Sims, the senior. Also in the starting lineup today, the senior Isaac Carroll, the senior Leo Santillian, the senior Brody Townley, the junior Diego Corona, the junior Caleb Valines, Jalen Nelson, the sophomore, also in the starting lineup, along with sophomore Denver Davidson, Jack Patterson, another senior for the Rams in the starting lineup, and rounding out the starting lineup on the pitch for the Rams today will be the senior Caleb Rush. And they are, of course, headed up by head coach Ben Pettigrew, who will be looking to bring home a state title to his alma mater as a head coach.
And for the Cyclones of Russellville, Los Ciclones, a starting lineup that Coach Jared Fuller sends in. Under the three posts, Brian Moreno, Kay Shemblin, Gerardo Jimenez, Jonathan Martinez, Arios Garcia, Alex Bonilla, Kaiwan Martinez, Nestor Crisostomo, Charlie Payne, Jet Bull, and Max Wilson. That is the starting lineup for Russellville, who, as you mentioned, Chase, has state championship caliber on the roster. And how do they get here? According to the brackets that we have here, the Rams, Chase, walk us through.
All right, so looking at the road, it started out against Maumelle, a shutout victory for the Rams, winning that one 4-0, and similar effort against Valley View in the quarterfinals as they win that one 3-0. They finally gave up a goal, but it's okay. It was to a team that was in the state championship last year, the Van Buren Pointers. A tight matchup in that one between two teams that are perennially contenders to make it to the state title game. Lakeside coming out on top 2-1, and that brings us here to Conway. Looking at Russellville, though, it's also been an impressive campaign for them. You look at their first matchup against the Batesville Pioneers, 5-0 in that one. Then they beat a rival of Lakeside, the Lake Hamilton Wolves, 6-2, before beating the Hot Springs Trojans in the semifinals 2-0.
And that's how both teams made their way into today's match. And we'll see how, everything's developed moving forward. Next 80 minutes in the last game of the Weekend of Champions between Russellville and the Rams. Center referee along the crew and get going. We talk about the fan base that came to these games today, and another good crowd. They came to support Russellville and the Rams.
And what an emotional moment for both of these two teams. You both worked so hard to get to this point, and over the next 80 minutes, we're going to determine who is the best team in the 5A. But both of these teams getting a chance to just soak in the moment here, making their last-second preparations before the contest. We've alluded to it, Carlos, throughout the day. Just making it here to the Weekend of Champions and playing in a state title game is an achievement in and of itself. And now it all culminates in this state title game. Looking at the two teams here today, you can see them on the left and right side of your screen. Lakeside on the left side wearing the blue uniforms, and Russellville in the white uniforms here today. Both head coaches going over their last second adjustments here. The head coach for Russellville is Jared Fuller. Also on his staff is Jonathan Bryant, Dr. Rob Goodman, and Caleb Ball. Diego Hernandez is your manager for the team, and they have AD Johnny Johnson, along with trainers Cameron Lane and Mike Hilton for Lakeside. Also on the staff, Jorge Gonzalez and Coach Ward. Tiffany Evans is your athletic trainer, and Ryan Rowe is your manager for the Rams. Well, looks like we're just about ready to get underway here. Caleb Vlines has it at midfield. Russellville doing its last huddle before the state championship gets underway. These Cyclones are fired up. They won another state title for the Rams, looking for their first since 2018. Who's going to come out on top here in the 5A in 2023? Well, we're about to find out. The Lions kicks it off, and we are underway at Estes Stadium for the 5A Boys State Championship. Both teams jockeying for position in the middle portion of the field. Russellville trying to maintain possession here. There's the clear, and ball is going to finally roll out of bounds. Nearing the defensive third over there for Russellville. We'll see if Lakeside plays aggressive. What a moment this is for Coach Ben Pettigrew. He played as a Lakeside Ram before going on to play college ball at Ouachita Baptist University. Came back as an assistant coach, was on the coaching staff when they won in 2018, and now he is the head coach for his alma mater and looking to bring home the team's first state title in 5 years. Russellville has it in the middle third, trying to progress the ball forward. Lakeside with a good stop there, trying to clear it. Valines has it near midfield. Now looks like the Rams have full possession of the ball. They're going to take a little bit of time here, trying to set things up. Just about a minute and a half in here in the 5A state title game. There's the ball to Strozik. He brings it up the right side. Good opportunity here on the right side, but it will be scooped up by the goalkeeper. That is Moreno. As the senior regroups here, everybody with a chance to catch their breath. Tensions got to be running high, not necessarily between the two teams in terms of animosity, but just the nervousness of playing on this big stage, season coming to a head. However, both of these teams are well familiar to the situation playing for a state title game. Looks like we're going to have a foul called here, and it's going to be a free kick for Lakeside. Well, Carlos, thus far, really not too much distance between these two teams. Both teams still jockeying for momentum early in this match, just about 3 minutes gone.
3 minutes on the go, and their goalkeeper is going to catch that ball with no problem. That was Brian Moreno, who is also a senior and will be the last match of his high school career. And I think I think he was part of the championship team that won when Russellville took the title a couple years ago.
They were. You look at the last several state titles in 5A, you see the Russellville name a lot. 3 of the last 4 5A titles have gone in favor of the Cyclones. For Lakeside, they won a title back in 2018.
And now, go ahead.
Oh, going ahead. And now both of these teams, again, wanting a statement-making victory, add another championship on the resume here today.
You mentioned after the rain was gone, you can start noticing some stuff on the surface, and I think I don't know if I'm seeing some white stuff on the 40-yard.
I see what you're saying down there on the.
It's kind of washing off, maybe.
Maybe so, a little bit. It's actually helped a little bit with the visibility of the soccer markings that have been added to the field surface here.
And if you just join us, we are live at the NFH network between Russellville and Lakeside, alma mater of Chase, who now I have to be direct. Now, are you pulling for anybody?
Well, I mean, I try to stay unbiased up here, but it'd be pretty tough when you graduate from somewhere, go somewhere for 13 years. It'd be hard not to hope that they pull out the victory. But you know, I'll try to keep it on the down low a little bit. But
so is it fair to say that you're wearing the right color?
I think I'd say I'm right.
Okay.
I'm wearing the right color for this game.
All right, all right. And if you missed the starting lineup for the two teams, Chase, do we want to go ahead and repeat the first one for Lakeside?
Sure thing. Goalkeeper today for the Rams is Connor Sims, and he is joined by Isaac Carroll, Sean Strozik, Leo Santillion, Brody Townley, Diego Corona, Caleb Valines, Jalen Nelson, Denver Davidson, Jack Patterson, and Caleb Rush. Those are your starters for the Rams.
And for Russellville, Brian Moreno under the 3 posts, Kay Samblin, Gerardo Jimenez, Jonathan Martinez, Ariel Garcia, Alex Bonilla, Kay Juan Martinez, Nestor Crisostomo, Charlie Payne, Jet Bull, and Max Wilson. That's the starting lineup the coach Jerry Fuller sent onto the field. Lakeside wearing blue and kind of yellowish golden.
They got that blue and gold.
And Russellville on white and red. Russellville has the ball, moving it in the final third, trying to connect. The ball is going to be clear, and the ball coming back. You got to be careful with the goalkeeper. Coming that high can get you in trouble. You know, especially the surface is still a little wet because the ball can bounce, and you don't want that. And I don't know if you notice, on punting the ball, they have to pay attention to that, because if the referee catch it, goalkeeper might be in trouble. Russellville, top of the box, opportunity for a shot on goal. He does it, and the ball comes to the near post. It might be a corner kick for Russellville. It's going to be a set piece as number 8, Brody Towley, is coming and try to delay that set piece. The center referee is asking him to move away, but you have to pay attention to those set pieces, because you never know when that player is going to play the ball short, and then the overlap, and that can get you in trouble with a long shot on goal. Number 7, Garcia. And the fence, and we're going to hear it on the fence, because when they disagree on the call.
Oh, they're going to make their voices heard here today. And the thing is, with these teams, it's going to be impossible not to hear it, because both teams brought such a good fan base here. And
hope we don't get no more rain, right?
Fingers crossed. I don't think we have any wood to knock on up here in the press box. Everything here looks like it's made out of steel or concrete.
Corner kick. Looks like it's going to be a long throw in by number 13, Chase.
That's going to be Charlie Payne.
Goalkeeper comes up. An opportunity right there to the near post.
Great play there by Sims. When there's so much traffic down there in the box, it can be tough to keep your composure and keep your eye on the ball. But a great job there by the senior. Had the vision to see right where the ball was at all times. And now, for Lakeside, a chance to try and get that ball out of the defensive third. It's now up to the middle third. But Russellville playing pretty aggressive, and looked like Caleb Valines got roughed up a bit there. He's going to draw a foul.
I think Diego Corona went down on the last play. Diego Corona, the captain. Oh, that was Leo Santillan, I believe. Nine minutes in the first half. It's 0-0 in the 5A championship between Russellville and Lakeside. Coming live at NFHS Network, the place to be. And tomorrow we'll do it again.
We will.
Somebody will do it again.
You'll be here for the second half, but if you can believe it, Carlos, this is the 20th state title game that we've called together over the last 3 years.
And that's going back to what you mentioned. You were a freshman in college whenever we met. Was it in Little Rock when we did the first?
I think it was, and when
you and I did it? Yeah.
We did the state championships at Benton the last 2 years, and then when the move came to Conway, we got here as well here today. We've been doing the Weekend of Champions in this new location on the campus of UCA. Formerly, it was at the Everett Complex, or the Benton Athletic Complex, Everett Field, I should say.
Cross ball in the box, an opportunity, goal! Goal! Goal, 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 goal! Jet Bull for Russellville sends the ball in, and it's 1-0, Jet. Take it away.
Well, Jet Bull, a fitting name, because that time as he was getting ready for that header, he looked like a bull that was ready to be released out of the pen, had a head full of steam, sent the ball right into the top left corner, and he's going to draw first blood here in the 5A state championship. Russellville's on top. It's 1-0.
And credit to the cross ball that came and was delivered so perfectly. And then he comes with the head and just net the ball to the far post because the goalkeeper was coming from the near post, and it's 1-0. Very, very well executed it.
You can't draw it up much better than that. We've seen some set pieces that have been successful here today, but perhaps none have gone exactly to plan as that one we saw right there.
Plenty of soccer to play.
Still just about 10 minutes off the clock.
You know, as much as I love the early goals, and in soccer, you know, some of us call them, you know, the locker rooms goals. It just is excited, but and then, you know, it's like, okay, what do we do? What do we do? And it's going back to the game Springdale versus Conway. You know, Springdale started it, you know, doing a lot of individual playing rather than group playing, and I think to the Rams, they just got to stick to the plane. They have that line with 5 in the back. Now you got to find a way, how can I incorporate 2 of those into the attack?
And it's a lot of how you respond to that first goal too, because we've seen that today. A couple of times we've seen a team go down 1-0, and it just seems like they can't get the momentum rolling. They start to fall apart a little bit. But Springdale was the one exception to that rule, because they gave up that first goal that really locked them in as a team. They started to work better as a unit, and then we saw them respond with a goal, and it seemed like every time that, you know, we saw a goal from Conway, the Bulldogs were right there to answer until that last goal that ended up being the decider in that one, a 3-2 match.
Jimenez to Martinez, and the assistant referee raised up the flag on offside position, but good movement of the ball. And now it's a ball for Lakeside Rams. It's 1-0, and the goal scored by Jet Bull. Should we call him El Toro then?
I think that's a great idea.
Yeah. I'm going to make myself a note here. We're going to go with officially his nickname to all the fans in Russellville, El Toro Jet.
Perfecto.
Muy bien. Number 10 on the jersey with the free kick for Lakeside. Number 50, I'm sorry. Caleb Rush. And now the ball comes back into the final third, and is Russellville trying to find number 8, Bonilla. Bonilla over a step. Shot on goal this time to the near post. You got to watch with Bonilla, because anytime that he gets to that particular top of the box, he's going to take that shot.
And Sims fortunate that time that it was a little bit of a grounder rolling off to the left, but if he gets enough elevation behind it and positions it just right, that's going to be a tougher play for the Rams goalkeeper.
Little push. Captain holding the ball, collapsing into each other. This is where the communication has to happen. You cannot lose possession of the ball like that. That was number 35 on the jersey, Patterson. Russellville once more with the chest, holding, protecting the ball, bringing the ball. And now the overlap, number 3 is going to get behind. That ball might go away. And that was number 3, Gerardo Jimenez. Good run, but the ball just went too far on the left side.
And see, this is where it gets a little bit tougher with the way the field is designed this year, is that usually when you see soccer played on a football field, they use the back of the end zone as the back line as well. But you can see that the back line of the official field that we're using here today for play is actually in the middle of the end zone. It's at the top of the lettering there. You can maybe make out a distinct line to the left and to the right of that B there in the end zone.
Matthew Guajardo and Jonathan Martinez coming into the field for Russellville as they lead 1-0. Goal scored by Jet El Toro. And now on the go is number 3, connecting. Gerardo Jimenez right away trying to make something happen and be a contributor for the Cyclones. Coming live at NFHS Network, the place to be. And don't forget, tomorrow we start early in the morning with a 10 a.m. game where Darnell is going to play the Queen. And this is the match that I was telling you about the fan base. I love the Queen, and they bring the tambores and they bring the matracas. And it's going to be a great match. The game will start getting a little physical. And the Rams want it. Goalkeeper is going to come up, protect the ball. It's going to be a corner kick for the Rams.
We haven't seen too many opportunities for the Rams to set up a set piece in this one, so we'll see how they respond to the opportunity.
And you can see the goalkeeper sending a couple players on number 2, because he's going to get in front of that goal. And look at little push there. Center referee is knocking his head. He knows that he's aware of that. In the box, an opportunity with the head over the crossbar.
That time it looked like Lakeside was trying to repeat the success of the same set piece that we saw from Russellville, or at least a similar set piece, going for the header straight off the corner kick. Didn't quite work out that time for the Rams, as that one went a bit too high. But you know, if they can lower their sights a little bit, they like that look.
23 minutes to play in the first half. Wonder if we want to get a water break. I think it's hot enough.
I think so. We've seen it pretty much for every match here today, so we may see that in about 4 minutes or so. They usually try to do it around the 20-minute mark or the 19.5-minute mark, depending on what works best. We did see one at the 20.5 because there was that goal.
Fans are still coming in into the beautiful stands of the Bears Stadium. University of Central Arkansas, the city of colleges.
And for this weekend only, the city of champions. Although that's not necessarily true, because they do have a conference champion here, the ASUN champion softball team that's heading to the NCAA tournament this weekend. There's a lot to be excited for if you're here in Conway for sports.
Are you very familiar with the downtown area or of?
I have visited a few times. It's a nice little district down there.
Mm-hmm.
There used to be a pretty interesting place down there to eat. It was called Hatchet House Barbecue. I don't think it's in business anymore, but you used to be able to go in there, and it was barbecue, but it also had axe throwing. So where you take an axe and you throw it at a target board, and they had other things that you could throw in there too. It was an interesting place, but it was neat. My dad took me down there once.
Barbecue?
It was. And what was funny is that one time one of the cooks came out on his break, and he had this axe that he had brought from home, started throwing it at the board, and he was hitting it perfectly down the middle. And he says, "This is what I do with my break time, is I come out here and do target practice."
And Dad is watching at home today.
He is watching.
Second goal, an opportunity, but the referee flags it up. Well, if we do this again next year, maybe we can have dinner.
That'd be great. I don't know if that would work out now, because I think they did close down that business, but given how many good places they have to eat around here.
Well, we're going to have to ask Google.
That's true. I will tell you, though, another one that's not too far from the campus, I'm sure a lot of locals would agree with me, is Stobie's. It's a real treat if you've never gotten to try it before. They have a wide menu that you can choose from. That's a lot of great food.
But it's more American, or it's about barbecue as well?
I think it's a mix of both. They kind of have that variety of a menu. One of my favorites there.
Or
you could go with the bistro box right here.
So we haven't. We were talking during the break. The challenge of having lunch in a rush is like it gets to you sometimes when you're doing too many games on one day. Because I mean, unless you take like a 30-minute break, then you'll be able to digest or enjoy it.
Right. And then our lunch break, most people it falls in around the noon hour roughly, but really the halfway point of our day is at 2 o'clock after that first half of matches. We had a couple of good ones here today, and at that point we were still kind of recovering from that instant classic between Conway and Springdale. What a match that was.
Adriana Reola came in for the Rams, and now number 30 on the jersey protecting the ball, Russellville. Russellville once more. The Rams clearing the ball. The ball comes back to number 3 on the jersey, Gerardo Jimenez. Jimenez is going to get it back, and he has the support in the midfield via number 7, Arios Garcia. Garcia plays the ball back to the center back. Russellville being very, very patient with the ball as number 10, Nestor Crisostomo, is going to bring it back to number 4, Brandon Lopez. I know of Brandon.
He's right next door. He's done a great job leading our team here today.
Two Brandons then. 19 minutes, and here comes the water break, and we'll take a short break too. We'll resume in less than a minute. We'll resume play after the water break with 19 minutes to play in the first half. Russellville leading 1-0. Goal scored top of the 11th minute, but El Toro Jet goal kick. That was number 30 trying to get to the ball. Russellville bringing the ball down on the left side, number 14 on the go.
Es El Toro.
El Toro. We're going to have to clear the ball, but the defense do a good job and now connecting. Good job by the defensive midfielder there, trying to put some pressure as the attacking midfield was making his way. Number 11, Guajardo, couldn't control the ball. And it's going to be a throw-in for the Cyclones. Still a little hot for the 4 p.m. game.
It is, and usually that first half of this game and really the second half of the previous game, those are when you really expect those hot hours to be there. 3, 4 o'clock, that's when you expect to see the hotter times, especially as we get into really the good portion of the summer where you start to see those temperatures start to rise. And you know, I'm sure the sun is helping raise the temperature a little bit down there too right now.
Garcia to Jimenez. It's a foul there. Those are some bright shoes that number 7, Leo Santillán, is wearing for Lakeside.
It's hard to miss him on the field down there, and I'm sure it helps his teammates a little bit being able to know where he is on the field at all times, trying to set him up for something, give him a good look.
Patterson.
I will say, though, Gerardo Jimenez also has some pretty bright shoes down there, too, for Russellville.
What number he has?
He has number 3. He's right here on
the
closest side to us.
Pinkish with white.
It really helps when you're on a colored field like this one where you have all the different tones going. You have the purples and the grays, and then in the end zones, you know, if you're wearing the black cleats, they blend right in.
16 minutes to play in the half is 1-0. The score top of the 11th minute, but Jet Bull, Russellville once more. The ball is in the air. They're going to challenge right there in the box. Defense is going to clear it. The ball comes to Gerardo Jimenez. Gerardo Jimenez was trying to get to number 11, I believe. And now the ball comes to the defense. Looks like the ball went out. Oh, there is a foul. The assistant referee is. I believe the assistant referee on the side close to us is from Fort Smith. Gerardo Jimenez. Not that much of an action so far for goalkeeper for Russellville, Brian Moreno. Couple times has been challenged.
Russellville's done a good job of maintaining possession here, keeping the ball out of their own defensive third for the last good portion of the match. I mean, most of the opportunities that we saw for Lakeside were early in the contest where it seemed like they could even take the lead. But since then, you haven't seen the ball go too far to this right third of the field.
Number 14 and number 9 coming in for Lakeside. Luke Vizcardis and Cross Horner. I didn't catch the other subs from Russellville, if there are any. In the box. That was a good shot there. Good intentions. Number 21 on the last shot for Russellville. I think it's one of the players that came in, David Cervantes. Little push there. Referee says not a problem. Number 9, Luke Vizcardis has it. And it's Russellville controlling the ball, maintaining a little more of possession compared to Lakeside. On Russellville, when they have the ball, they try to possess the ball just a little longer rather than playing direct.
They do try to set up those shots, and it does take them a little bit longer to let those plays develop. I think for Russellville, you're trying to get those quick hits right now when you have those openings. But right now, Lakeside maybe trying to make a run down the left side.
Center referee gives advantage there, and now they're gonna go at it. Number 6 and number 4, I believe. It's gonna be a throw in for Russellville with about 13 minutes left to play in the half.
And you mentioned Luke Vizcardis entering the contest. That's a name that a lot of Lakeside fans likely recognize. His older brother, Grant Vizcardis, played on the team and won a state championship as a sophomore as well. And Luke's a sophomore right now, so maybe lightning can strike twice for the Vizcardis family. The eldest brother in that family, Ryan Vizcardis, he was also a part of the program. Had a successful run with the team, so that family name, no stranger to the Lakeside fans.
In a small scale comparison, it's like, you know, the brothers, the Mannings. You know, it's how often do you see brothers, you know, being able to win championships. And as a parent, I can only imagine, you know, the feeling of it. Russellville on the go. Jimenez is going to hold it. Now keeping that ball to the corner. Number 10 has it. Crossing the ball in the box. An opportunity, but the ball is going to go away. That was Nestor Crisostomo. I have tried from time to time to call a game watching the monitor, and it doesn't work for me.
It just doesn't beat the real thing.
I mean, it's a resource, right?
It is, without a doubt. Sometimes you have to double check and make sure your timing's not going a few seconds ahead. We've had delays before at Ouachita before, sometimes in the picture, but more often than not, it's right there synchronized, and it's going to pick it up right in time. I just like to see what's happening in real time as it's happening out there in the real world, not on the screen.
If you ever, or if you haven't, the next time that you go into a Mexican restaurant, you need to have a sincronizada. You ever had it?
I have not.
Since you say synchronize, it came to my mind. That's how hungry I am. On the go. Number 9. Vizcardis. Can Vizcardis give the happiness to the family? We'll see. Hey, we almost kind of predicted about the hero during the Conway.
That's true.
Russellville on the go. 10 minutes to play. The Rams bringing the ball to the defensive third. Leo finding number 16, Billines. But the ball went away. It's going to be a throw-in. Clearing the ball. It's going to be a long ball, and keeper is going to let it go, and it's going to be a goal kick. Thank you to all the ball boys and ball girls that have been helping us here. I cannot imagine the temperature, but we really appreciate it. You know, if you're there helping us just to have the speed of the game going a little faster, we really appreciate. And to everybody involved in the broadcasting and to the Arkansas Activities Association for finding ways to bring the Weekend of Champions to places that are unique in a way. And for you who love the game, and if for some reason you don't love the game and haven't been exposed to a soccer match, whether it's high school or to another level, then we're glad that you're here. Whether you are a spectator, where you tag along without the umbrella. Now, was it the 12 p.m. that got rain?
It was.
They enjoy the rain.
We had a downpour, and we were worried that it was going to set us back a little while. We didn't know if we were going to start at this time, but there was never any lightning mixed in or any thunder. It was just a straight downpour. As fast as that game was, though, I'm sure that Springdale and Conway were grateful for the rain. Helped cool down the field surface a little bit, although I'm sure the goalkeepers weren't too happy about the ball having a little extra moisture on it, making it a little more slick.
Russellville. The Rams are sticking to the game plan. Right now, you know, if I'm sure you notice, it's Russellville is doing a lot of the work, you know, chasing the ball, moving the ball around. And I wonder if in the next 7 minutes the Rams don't find a way to equalize her, then the game plan for the second half, still plenty of soccer to play. But how can you be more aggressive and find a way to get that goal that will bring you back into the game? Carroll. Russellville moving the ball. Bring it to number 7, Garcia. Garcia in the middle. Garcia has lots of support on the right wing. The ball comes back to him. He's going to try to cross it top of the box. Defense gets on the way. And now opportunity for Russellville to maintain possession. Number 2, Isaac Carroll, going to have to clear the ball. Ball comes in the air. As number 9, Vizcardis step in. Russellville via number 10. An opportunity for Russellville shot on goal to the hands of the goalkeeper. I think he meant for a stronger shot, but I don't think he got the grip on it.
And it's tough to get that leverage sometimes, especially when you're in motion. You don't want to slow it down too much because then you're going to risk losing the ball. But also you've got to be able to make that adjustment on the fly to where you can get just enough leverage to power it in that same height that you're at least hoping for.
On the goal. Shot on goal, an opportunity. He does it to the hands of the goalkeeper. And I'm telling you, consistency, persistency, and if they let him, he's going to put one because he's going to get the right shot and he's going to curve that ball to the far post. How's the finger, man?
That's doing all right. We had a little fun with the tripod earlier today, and I'm doing just fine now.
Well, at least it wasn't like the story that I shared that I shut the door of my car and next thing I know it's my finger is trapped now, and it took me I think not even a second to realize that I had to reopen the door. 5 minutes to play. Still 1-0. The goal scored top of the 11th minute by Jet El Toro.
Well, and the funny thing about that tripod story was you were closing the tripod and you felt something, it closed on something. You didn't realize it was my finger that was still holding it.
That was a great opportunity there for Russellville.
That was Jet Bull El Toro, almost with his second goal of the match.
Vizcardis. Vizcardis, a sophomore. Crisostomo. Leo Santillan. Lakeside moving the ball around. Little miscommunication there, but the ball went away. It's going to be a throw-in for Russellville with a little bit over 4 minutes to play in the half. Jimenez has the support in the middle of the field. He's going to go with the winger. And that's number 10, Crisostomo. Crisostomo needs to be careful on holding the ball for too long, because you don't want to avoid injuries. And sometimes injuries will come when you try to do too much with the ball. Very skillful player though. Number 10 for Russellville, Nestor Crisostomo. A little bit over 3 minutes to play in the half. You can see players pulling that jersey up just to get some air in it. I remember the first time that I played on a tar field, I ended up with blisters because it was too hot.
I could imagine, especially on a day like today.
And I don't remember how long ago, one of my players, now that they are on the U19, Emerson Flores, he came next to the bench, and first he poured water on his shoes, and I said, "What are you doing?" And he didn't reply at that moment. And then about 2-3 minutes later, he comes and says, "Hey, coach, can you please stop me?" And I said, "What's going on?" "My feet are on fire." And I said, "What do you mean your feet are on fire?" So we were playing on turf, and the shoes that he was wearing were more plastic than leather. And he said, "I cannot play." And he was like, took his shoes off and just start putting water on it. So I cannot imagine when you are wearing the wrong gear on a hot day, then how hot your feet can get. Crisostomo switching the ball. Vizcardi's on the last touch. Moving the ball is Russellville. They know that they can go into the locker room with a break and leading 1-0. Let's see if they can hold for 2 more minutes. And then they'll be 40 minutes away from claiming the title. Russellville maintaining possession in the midfield. Number 10 again, Crisostomo. Crisostomo trying to get to El Toro. The ball comes around the 40-yard. Crisostomo now switching with Garcia. Russellville has it. Shot on goal this time. Away. Looks like somebody touched it. There might be a corner kick with a little bit over a minute to play in the half. Now it's going to be a goal kick, Chase.
And we'll see what the Rams decide to do here. We'll see if they try to play it conservative or if they try to be aggressive. This will likely be their last possession of the first half regardless.
Now they're going to bring the ball outside. Garcia to Jimenez. Jimenez is going to play it a little back all the way to the defense. On the last touch was Wilson. Now with the goalkeeper Moreno. About 20 seconds left in the first half. Long ball trying to get to number 7, Garcia. Garcia putting pressure. It's a late foul. This is what you want to avoid. You know, it's those late fouls because you don't want to get in trouble, especially with 10 seconds left in the half. We want to take a short break. When we come back, we'll recap the first 40 minutes of the match between Russellville and Lakeside. You're watching the NFHS Network. And welcome back to the second half of the match between Russellville and Lakeside. Chase, you nervous? They're going to pull it?
A little bit, but we'll see what the adjustments were at halftime. Still plenty of action left here.
If you are Lakeside and you're the coach, what do you tell your players at the half?
Well, I think if you're Coach Pettigrew here, you've got to say, on the defensive side of things, we've got things working pretty well, because even though they had the ball in the defensive third of Lakeside for most of that first half, they only scored once. Jet Bull came away with that one score, and it was a great play on a set piece. I think you've also got to encourage some aggressiveness on the attacking side of things. Need to get that ball inside, get some better looks perhaps at the goal if possible, and we might just see that right here as the Rams look to be heading in pretty quickly here. Maybe a more aggressive approach here.
And they switched the line now. They were playing with 5 in the back, so now they move into a 4-4-2 perhaps, and we'll see if that adjustment is going to pay dividends for the Rams. 40 minutes away from Russellville to take the title, and we'll see if Lakeside finds a way here in the early minutes to find an equalizer. Russellville on the go to the near post. The goalkeeper seems Connor, not a problem on catching the ball. And you see the play right away, and this is where you got to utilize the speed. And if you're Russellville, you got to pay attention to those movements, because you don't want them to get you on the counter attack. Number 6, Arreola. Arreola holding the ball. He's going to have the support of his defender, number 50 on the jersey, Rush. Rush lose possession of the ball, and the ball comes to Bonilla. Bonilla switching to Samblin. Back to Bonilla. Bonilla with the left foot, trying to hold the ball. And this is what I was telling you about holding the ball for too long, and then don't notice, and there is a little foul there. Might be a card. Center referee calls it. Don't put yourself in a position where you're going to get punished for something that you shouldn't be doing.
And with that card, we'll see if that comes back to bite Russellville in any way. As again, as you mentioned, Carlos, you don't want to give your opponent anything to feel good about themselves going down the stretch. For Lakeside, you're looking for that extra kick of momentum right now. You get it in the form of that yellow card. Now we'll see how they respond. Not in a bad spot here. A free kick near midfield.
It's going to be a corner kick as the referee points it. And you see how player in front of the goalie. And the goalie has a couple players covering the near and the far post. An opportunity for the Rams, top of the box. Number 7, Leo Santillan couldn't get the ball the way that he wanted it.
That set piece did have some promising looks, though. So we'll see if Lakeside goes back to that again if they find themselves in that corner kick situation. The key to that is finding yourself in that situation again, and to do that, you've got to keep attacking here and keep that ball in the defensive third of Russellville.
Brian Moreno getting the ball to Garcia. Garcia on the go. And the Rams getting the ball away as number 16, Billines, couldn't get to it. And now Brody. Brody has the support of number 25, Davidson. Davidson is going to fight for that ball against the Bull, I believe. And now crossing the ball to the far post. For a second, I thought he was in offside position, but the assistant referee didn't flag it, so he is okay.
The Rams student section trying to rally on their team here.
Just notice the First Security Bank logo on a purple screen, but that's because we're in UCA, because First Security Bank is teal, right? The colors. I don't
That's
know
right.
if you're in. Pay attention to those things, but
Right. Well, it is. And actually, they're a pretty big sponsor here. This is now it's known as Estes Stadium, but First Security Field is the name of the field that's here.
Oh. Okay.
So First Security has a pretty big presence here on UCA's campus. I guess you just change up that logo a little bit to blend in with the color scheme.
I used to be the spokesperson for First Security Bank whenever it was the big push in the growing of the Latino community in the state. So I did a lot of radio ads and TV ads for them. And that's how I know they're teal. I mean, got to wear teal stuff for a few years.
There you go.
Got an opportunity to work with the Rutledge family. They were very kind and very good people to work with. I think there is a good story, and I don't remember which the kids. I don't remember if it was John. To one time the Razorbacks didn't have a quarterback, and I think he was playing in the intramurals, and I don't know how accurate the story is, but you know, he not playing for the Razorbacks. Throwing, it looks like it's gonna be a long one. Russellville playing in the backs. I don't think El Toro was able to put the head the way that he wanted on that ball, and ended up being a goal kick.
You could tell that he was looking to go back to that same well, get that header right in the corner of the net. Unfortunately, he was a bit too far to the right.
Tomorrow we'll start at 10 a.m. with Darnell playing the Queen, followed by Harrison. That's going to be a good match between Harrison and Pulaski Academy. At 2 p.m., Green Forest Tigers will have an opportunity to earn a title versus Haskell Academy of Bentonville. And we finish it up with Fayetteville Bulldogs on the girls' side playing Bentonville Tigers. Long ball. Goalkeeper, not a problem there. Plenty of soccer to play. 33 minutes left in the game. It's 1-0. Russellville leading from the top of the 11th minute via Jet El Toro, who scored that beautiful header after a great cross from the right side. And from that moment on, the Rams haven't been able to get one clear opportunity to get the equalizer.
Well, they'll look to set it up here. A little bit of an opportunity perhaps developing over on the far side. There's the cross.
Number 6 with a shot. That was number 6, Adrian Arreola, on the attempt. $10,000 people, huh? It holds.
It'll hold 10,000 people, at least according to the website.
Uh-huh.
Fans here in Conway have had some good football to cheer about here. We mentioned that the Stevens complex is where the soccer team normally plays their games, and
Russellville on the go, crossing the ball, trying to get behind. Might be a goal kick. That's where a lot of the soccer activity happens in that part.
The Stevens complex. So you don't see soccer too often, at least to my knowledge here, but a unique opportunity, because how many high school soccer players get to say that they played a state championship game in the middle of a Division I football stadium?
Talking about the opportunities and experiences like this, that's one of the things that the group that we took to Guatemala got to experience, because they play in every stadium of a professional team in Guatemala. And I don't know if you ever been in Guatemala, but if you ever, and I encourage you to go, if you go to Antigua, the stadium there, it's in the middle of the city, and if you don't know the city, you'll be looking for the stadium, but it's right in the middle, and it's when you're in the stadium, you can see all the mountains and the volcano that surround the city. Beautiful place, and great food, and hotels are very affordable. I was just surprised of how affordable they are because it's a tourist city.
Right.
And 30 bucks a night with real breakfast included it. I'm like, my goodness.
That's tough to beat.
If you ever want to go out.
Absolutely.
I'll ride with you. Well, not with, won't be driving, but I'll fly with you.
There you go.
No,
I was about to say,
right.
that might be that might be a
Might
long
be a
road
long, yeah. Looks like number 7, Leo Santillan, went down and holding his left leg. And you don't want to lose Santillan this early in the second half. I think it's the right knee. Then the referee is gonna resume play.
Athletic trainer Tiffany Evans going to take a look at Santillan. As you said, Carlos, hopefully he's going to be okay because he is such a big part of this team. And as they look to try and come back in this match, you want all hands on deck.
And they did sub him, didn't they? They sent somebody else in. I didn't catch.
They did. They sent in Ochoa, the
Ochoa,
sophomore.
number 8.
The number 24.
Number 24, Alexis, sophomore. On the go. Russellville with a shot. Bit of a trouble there for the goalkeeper, seems.
You got to give credit to Sims because he's had a pretty steady hand in this match. He's had a few come his way, a few shots on goal, and for the most part, he's been able to keep Russellville off the scoreboard. The lone exception, that header goal from Jet Bull, and that was all the way back in the first 10 minutes of this match.
Davidson on the last touch. It's going to be a throw-in, putting the ball back in play. And now El Toro on the go. Little foul there. Ooh, I wonder if he's going to give him a card. I think that was a harder foul than the previous here where they show a card. Because it was from behind.
And this is where you have to be careful not to let the frustration set in. Because although things haven't gone Lakeside's way, they're still well within this match. One possession changes the complexion for better or for worse.
Ball in the box. Still trying to clear it. Do a good job now with the head. Second head follow trying to get to number 16, but number 3, Jimenez. Bonilla, who had a card early in the beginning of the match. An opportunity right there. Surprised they didn't call a foul on the goalie. Good movement on the ball, an opportunity for Russellville. Shot to the second player there, but goalkeeper came in. Make another save. That's 2 in a row.
It's been a busy half for Sims, but He has stood his ground. He's kept his team within 1 goal. And now it's up to his teammates to try and find the equalizer.
Vizcardi's on the last attempt. Looks like changing words there. As the ball went out, number 8 is gonna hear it from the referee. I think Jet took a break. Cervantes on the go. Trying to connect with number 8, Brody, on the last attempt. And now they're going to maintain possession of the ball via number 2, Isaac Carroll. Chasing that ball. Good slide tackle there by the defense. See, that's another dangerous thing to do, because I think the keeper got lucky on that one, because keeper went, yeah, so the guy who ran into the goalkeeper gets a card, but the keeper went and looked for contact. So that's asking for trouble. You're winning the game, right? Because if thing goes wrong, then you might get a card. Russellville trying to get something going via number 21, switching the ball to number 10, Crisostomo. Crisostomo is going to hold. He has an overlap made by his teammate. Let's see if he gives him the ball. And he's going to hold on to it. He needs to be careful because he has a card. Uh-oh, second card. He's going to get a red. No, he didn't have one. I was mistaken by Alex Bonilla. But Crisostomo gets a card. Just for nothing, I think. And
at the very least, you got to proceed with caution now.
Yeah.
Lots of players out there with cards. One more mistake could be costly.
And it can cost you the game if you're not careful. Russellville on the go with 25 minutes to play. And chase the clock for the Rams. It's going to start going faster than ever.
It is. We've said it before, time and again today. When you get into this position, when you're leading late in a match, in this case, these last 25 minutes, they're going to feel like the fastest 25 minutes of the season for the Rams. For the Cyclones, it's going to be your longest 25 minutes because you've got to find a way to keep your opponent off the scoreboard and lock up this state championship. Still so much soccer to be played, and you can tell that both of these teams have gotten visibly frustrated at times because really this has been a defensive stalemate between these two teams. The lone exception being the goal by Jet Bull, but since then, no offense to speak of.
Moving the ball. This is what Russellville needs to do. You know, have to force the Rams to make and spend a lot of energy. Good movement there by number 25, Davidson.
That was a good slide tackle as well.
Bringing the ball to number 14, El Toro. El Toro connecting on the right side via number 2, Kay Shamblin, I believe. Substitution coming in for the Rams. Number 25 coming back in. And number 9 taking a break. Number 7. It's going to be another long throw in for Russellville with 23 minutes left in the game. Looks like the player step on the field, and the assistant referee is arguing with the head coach. And I'm telling you, you're not going anywhere. Argument. And I did share the story about, one game in Alabama where it was a great conversation. Disagreements were disagreements. That's all it was. Leo Santillán on the go. Santillán is making that run. It's going to be a throw-in for the Rams with 22 minutes to play in the game. Still 1-0. 22 minutes have the Cyclones before they can claim the title of the 5A against your alma mater.
It's going to be an interesting finish here today at Estes Stadium, indeed.
Indeed it is. Substitution coming in, number 2. Samblin. Taking a break is number 7, Garcia. Coming back in is number 2, Isaac Carroll for the Rams. Getting a little cloudy.
There is some rain expected in the area.
Oh, still?
One last wave coming through later, but here's a chance for Lakeside.
Good shot there. I saw Fayetteville coming and watching a game. I think they came and watched the 2 p.m. game, or some of the 2 p.m. game. The Fayetteville Bulldogs, who will play tomorrow. Coach Toma, who has done a tremendous job with the Fayetteville program on the girls' side, will have an opportunity to have another shot to the title tomorrow against Bentonville. Bentonville, whose program was built by Christina Henry. And when she retired a few years ago, she's original from San Diego, and Bill Henry was part of the coaching staff for a club where we used to coach together. They moved back to San Diego but left the program in good shape. Bentonville, especially on the girls' side, didn't have the success. But after Christina Henry built it, then it has become stronger and stronger every year. And on the boys' side, they're getting there. Looks like a player is down.
That's Gerardo Jimenez, and looks like he might be dealing with some cramps out there.
Number
the way he was
3.
holding his leg.
Yeah.
And again, this is where the conditioning starts to come into play. That's the second Cyclone we've seen go down with a cramp in the last couple of minutes, so you have to wonder if that's going to be an issue moving forward.
That's what you got to get, you potassium.
Mm-hmm.
Not sure it will avoid 100%, but should it help?
Well, with the surface being perhaps the warmest it's been all day here, even though it's later in the afternoon going into the evening, we've got at least some direct sun, and the temperature with the humidity right now, it's looking at the mid 80s or so. We've had the temperature hover around that mark throughout the day. We'll get a quick update on it. Now it's saying it's in the low 80s up to 80, but when you add in the humidity, it does feel like it's in the mid 80s. We've discussed it as well too. When you're on turf, it can add a few extra degrees on top of that too, at least from a player's perspective.
Looks like we're going to have a water break with 19:58 left in the game, and these 19 minutes, they're going to go
Just like that.
They're going to go fast. Now, this is where you have a little time during the water break that you can talk with your players if you are Lakeside. Hey, we have X amount of time. Is it too early to risk? What do you do? Because I mean, we still have 20 good minutes, but when do you make the decision, or like I better make some tactical moves?
I think you're looking for that opening whenever you can find it at this point. If you see the chance for that equalizer, you've got to take it. You can't just hope that there's going to be another opportunity beyond that. You've got to capitalize on the opportunity that's in front of you. So for Lakeside, I think it's seeking out that opportunity, making sure it's there, and then when it's presented in front of you, capitalize on it, because you're not going to get a ton of chances. Even though there's still plenty of soccer left to be played, you're never given a guaranteed amount of opportunities, especially shots on goal, to try and get that equalizer. So you've got to take the opportunities when you can get them, because good things can happen when you create those opportunities for yourselves. You're going to capitalize eventually. You've just got to make sure you do it in that span of time. If you keep being aggressive, there's a good chance something good's going to happen, as long as you're persistent.
We'll see.
For Russellville, you'd love an insurance goal right here, but your main priority is making sure that lead stays intact, too. So you've got those opposing battles. For Russellville, you got to figure out what's our priority moving forward. Do we keep doing what we're doing and just try to keep the score where it is, or do we try to go for what could be a game-clinching goal?
Center referee has signaled that the clock needs to get going. Oof, handball. Got lucky there. Got a break. It could be a great opportunity for Russellville if the referee call it. And you can see there the coach talking with the AR, because he was close to the AR. But AR didn't see it. Center referee don't believe it was intentional. Keep playing. Carroll playing to the goalie. Goalie trying to get to Santillan. Santillan connecting with Arriola. Player go down. On the go Cervantes. Cervantes connecting with El Toro. Crossing the ball. Good dive by the goalkeeper and making a good save there. And avoiding that cross ball.
And if Lakeside can somehow find that equalizer and perhaps even win this match, you have to think that Sims is going to be in a good position to be an MVP candidate, as many crucial saves as he's made.
Foul on Jack Patterson. Going the 50-50 ball. Second biggest crowd?
I'd say so, and it seems like
third.
We've had some good crowds here today.
Ball in the air. Couple players collapsed to the dead. One player from Russellville down. And if he doesn't get up, the offside position won't count.
That's El Toro.
Is it?
That's Jet Bull.
Yeah. Substitution coming in, number 7 and number 25. 25 for the Rams and 7 for Russellville.
That looks to be another cramp as well. That's the third Cyclone to go down via cramp. You haven't seen that from Lakeside, so the conditioning clearly paying off for the Rams. We'll see if it pays dividends in the form of a late scoring opportunity here.
17 minutes to play.
The only player we've really seen go down here in the second half for the Rams was Santillion.
Referee signals to the clock runner to get it going. It's a foul there. Referee says not a problem. Now counter attack, and let's see if Russellville can make something happen. That's where you have to challenge the one-on-one. Player is open. If he can cross it, we can get in trouble with the Rams. But good job by the defense. Number 21, Nelson. The ball is playing right away. Let's see if they can get across. They're going to challenge the one-on-one, trying to get behind the defense. And again, number 25, Davidson, does a good job. And now the Rams trying to get out of the defensive third. But they find number 10, Crisostomo, who got a card top of the 25th minute. 16 minutes to play. That's how much the Rams have to find a way to get an equalizer. And this is when you want your number 12 player on the bench or on the bleachers to start giving you that energy and get going.
Yeah, it looks like that's what the student section for Lakeside is trying to do right now. You heard a few of those chants starting to erupt from the left side of the home bleachers here at Estes Stadium.
Bonilla. Can Bonilla cross the ball? And it's going to be a corner kick. Welcome to the University of Central Arkansas. Place for the Weekend of Champions. Last game of today. And tomorrow we'll do it again. Starting at 10 a.m. The Rams on the go. On the right side. Plenty of space, and he's taking it. He's going to connect with number 9, Vizcardis. It's going to be a throw-in for the Rams. Number 2 wants the ball. Let's see if they play him to him. But I think it's going to be a set piece, and it's going to be a long throw-in. They choose to go short with Leo. My watch is telling me that I close to complete my activity, and I haven't moved.
It's been all the excitement today. I think it might have been your blood pressure in that game against Springdale.
Guess. Yeah.
Springdale and Conway, we got our exercise in that one.
He gets me sometimes when I either I'm been sitting and it's just like, you almost there, hang in there. Sims trying to clear that ball. 14 minutes to play. Crisostomo. Good job stepping in front of the defender. Russellville is going to play the ball all the way back to Moreno. Moreno with the right foot trying to put the ball back in play. Crisostomo taking the space in front of him. It looks like he might go all the way in. Crisostomo. Good job by number 21, Cervantes. He's been getting some touches on the ball and creating some opportunities. Number 21.
There was also some good defense there by Caleb Rush, forcing the ball out of bounds. It actually bounced off of Russellville, it appears, so it's going to go Lakeside's way off the throw.
I need to come and watch a football game here at UCA. Haven't experienced that just yet. Russellville on the go. An opportunity. And again, David Cervantes couldn't hang on to it. Substitution coming in, number 16, Billines. Taking a break is Vizcardis. And for the Cyclones, number 2 coming back in, Kay Shemblin. Taking a break is number 20, I believe, Lara Escobar. Throwing in the box, goalkeeper comes out and catch the ball well. You know, as much as I love watching Connor Sims come in and grab that ball, you know, if I'm the coach, I'm like, I mean, I want my goalkeepers to be aggressive, but you know, if the timing is not there, you can get in trouble.
Fortunately, that's where Sims' experience comes into play a bit. He is a senior, so he's been in this situation before, just not necessarily on this stage. But that was a lucky break there for the Rams. As again, that was some aggressive play there. I think again that was Cervantes in there on the play, and he almost had the goal stolen there from Sims.
And we're just talking about the experience that he has as far as, you know, being in these situations, and that's the thing, you know, you want your goalies to be able to, you know, handle the ball with their feet good, because in situations like that, you can get out of trouble.
You want your goalie to make confident decisions. You just don't want them to make arrogant decisions.
Moreno. 11 minutes to play. And the referee is going to be paying attention on Moreno to see how much time he takes off the clock. Long ball. El Toro. Looks like the ball went away. It's going to be a long throw in. Looking for that flip on the ball on the near post. They play short, crossing the ball in the box. And now the Rams via number 16, Billines, shifting the ball around, sending a long ball, but you got to be careful here. And we talk about this sometimes when you're going to play direct. You know, you end up losing possession because you didn't have the numbers up there. And now with a long ball trying to get to El Toro. He's going to protect the ball. He's going to try to get behind the defense. He cuts in, and it's going to be a throw, and this time he's going to go for Lakeside. Substitution coming in. Number 9 coming back in, Vizcardis.
Coach Pettigrew likely wanting some fresh legs here down the stretch. Again, still anyone's match with 10 minutes to go. And just a 1-goal advantage, but for Russellville, you're looking to effectively put the match away if you can get a goal here.
It's been a close game. I don't think we have any one-on-one opportunities that either team has missed to either get a second goal or to get the equalizer, other than that set piece on the corner kick.
For Lakeside, you don't know how many opportunities you're going to get beyond the one you have now, so you've got to make the most of every possession. And looks like they're going to stop play here. There's a ram down on the far side.
Now, looks like the player might be outside the field, so play can resume unless the trainer trainer is heading that way. That's number 5.
That's Strozik. So it looks like he's cramping up a bit now on the far side. And again, it's
I think
hurt both
I
teams.
think it's the right ankle.
That is true. He's favoring it. That's a tough blow for the Rams, especially on the outside, because Strozik has been that guy who has stepped up, and he's created some opportunities by rushing to the left side or the right side, depending on where he is, bolting down and then trying to cross the ball. It'd be nice to have that option these last few minutes, but at this point, the Rams may have to go on without him.
Oh, maybe not. Looks like he's walking it off. He's probably going to go back in right away.
So it may be just a cramp after all. We've seen a few players go down with that from both sides, and I wasn't sure, but that might have been what Santillan was dealing with earlier, especially since he came back so quickly.
Rams in the final third. Good idea on turning with the ball and trying to take that shot, but shot went too high.
That's one where you say, if it was a Saturday afternoon, that would have counted for 3. Unfortunately, it's a Friday afternoon, and that one's not going to count for anything.
The action comes back tomorrow here on the NFHS Network, starting at 10 a.m. with Darnell playing against the Queen. That's how early we'll start, followed by Harrison on the girls' side facing Pulaski. On the 3A boys division, Green Forest will be playing against Haskell of Bentonville. And to finish it up, it'll be Bentonville on the 6A girls match against the Bulldogs of Fayetteville. Those are the matches that we will have for you tomorrow. But before that, we still have 7 minutes to play here in Russellville versus the Rams. Rams on the go via number 50, Rush. Rush is going to cut inside, looking for some help. Number 8 now, Brody. Playing the ball back, Arreola connecting with number 21, Nelson. Moving the ball, trying to keep them in the final third, number 16, Billines. Goalkeeper is going to catch it. And going to grab some seconds off the clock as number 2, Carroll, was putting pressure. 6 minutes to play in the game.
Lakeside doing a solid job, though, of keeping it at least on this half of the field. But right there, it looks like they're going to give up the free kick on a penalty.
Yeah, it was a handball. The ball came to the player as he was trying to control the ball with the upper body. A little bit over 5 minutes to play in the game. Russellville. How far is Russellville from Conway? About 30 miles?
It's about 50 minutes, roughly.
An opportunity offside position. So Russellville away about 5 minutes on the clock to take it home. And to do that, they're going to have to travel 50 miles. I'm saying it right?
Sounds about right to me. Still got about 5 minutes left.
Yes, sir. Hey, I'm with you, man. I'm with you.
But what a season it has been for both of these two teams.
And see, that's the thing that, you know, regardless of the score in the finals, you know, in any finals, you are the last two teams standing while the rest of the division and the conference are done. You know, and as much as, you know, whatever the pain is, you're still in the top 2.
That's true, and you're still walking away, even though you want that big gold trophy, at the very least you're walking away with the smaller silver one when you leave the weekend of champions.
But, you know, we mentioned Vizcardis. And maybe today is the day.
It could be the day. But I think one thing is true about both of these two teams, and it's that they both have a bright future looking forward. You look at Russellville, there are a lot of players on this team that have been part of previous state champions, but you're seeing some players out here winning their first ever state title.
Ball comes to the goalkeeper. He can pick it up. I don't think his teammate intentionally passed it to him. It's going to be a corner kick in here. Russellville is going to eat up some seconds as we approaching the last 3 minutes of so on the game. Set piece. The Rams not going down that easy. Looks like there is a foul. Center referee says, I got it. So you can tell the coach, you can see the coach say, hey, just take it easy. No need to rush it. Ball in the box. Cyclones trying to find El Toro. Nice opportunity for Russellville getting behind the box. Can they cross the ball? And now to the hands of the goalkeeper. Little bit over 2 minutes. Carroll about to send that ball. Defense gets on the way. Moving the ball around Brody. Good ball. It's going to be a throw-in for the Rams. This can be an opportunity.
And if you're the Rams here, you got to realize this could be your last set piece, and they're going to go ahead and say it went out at the corner, so it's going to be a corner kick. Perhaps even better here for the Rams, but you got to capitalize on the opportunity that has been gifted to you.
Corner kick with a little bit of 2 minutes. Ball in the play. Ball comes in the air. Goalkeeper getting ready. There is a foul there. The referee says no. I think I saw an elbow.
That's a tough no call there for the Rams, but it doesn't matter. You've still got to keep going. Time rolls on whether you like the call or not.
It's still possession for the Rams. Substitution coming in. Looks like El Toro is down again on the, and he's holding again his, yep. One minute and 37 seconds. We've seen it before.
We have. The match can change in one possession.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if there's 1 minute 37 seconds, 37 seconds, or 3 seconds left on that clock. As long as that ball goes through the goal, goes into that back net, the match can completely change, and you could be looking at potential overtime, and from there looking at potentially PKs. But the first important step, you've got to get that goal. And on the flip side,
gotta tie it.
And on the flip side, you've got to make sure you don't allow that goal, and if you do, try to strike back before regulation comes to a close.
Ball in play. Still possession and opportunity right there. Goalkeeper is going to take it down, and let's see if the referee pays attention on how many seconds he's going to take. Because you don't want to call, you don't want to be a goalie and call an indirect kick, because that will put you in danger. Getting close to the 1 minute mark. And unless something happened, 60 seconds away from taking the title. Russellville want to put one more, and now Russellville couldn't get it there. And now they're going to have to get that ball way in the final third. Goalkeeper is going to try to do that. Wasn't successful. Now an opportunity for a shot on goal. He takes it. And now let's see if they can get that ball high enough. And this is where you got to push everybody up. Because it won't make any sense if we get the ball up there. And when I say we, I mean the Rams. If we don't have the numbers up there. On the go. 25 seconds. The Rams are still alive. They have possession of the ball. Crossing it in the box. An opportunity. Collapses there. The ball came off the goalie. Now they're stopping the clock with 13 seconds left in the match. And I think this is going to be it.
I think so too. And you got to give credit where credit is due. You know, usually you're looking at a 1-0 match. You're thinking about those last 10 minutes, and it did come down to this. But the big difference maker was that one goal in the first 10 minutes.
Well, Chase, it's an honor.
It's been a pleasure to work with you again and get to call this 20th state title game with you for the past 3 years. And now we're going to have a substitution as Russellville is about to claim yet another ring.
And I guess today will be okay if they run into the field because it's the last game. You know how they keep it from rushing into the field?
They just want to make sure it's orderly, but we may not even see a single kick. There it is.
And then the ball is in the air, and that will do it. And the Cyclones are taking the match, and they are the champions. Congratulations on the match. Final thoughts on the game, Chase?
This was a defensive battle through and through. Both of these two teams deserve a round of applause for how they performed here today. You got to give it to El Toro, Jet Bull. We didn't know it at the time, but that goal proved to be the difference maker in this one, and it was a complete defensive effort in this one. Tip your cap to Connor Sims, allowing just one goal on the day, but countless saves in contrast to that. And then Brian Moreno, absolutely fantastic down the stretch. You know, he went down to the ground. He made sure he secured every save that he had. He took extra precaution, and it pays off in the end. Russellville is headed home with yet another state title.
And with that, thank you so much for being with us here in the NFHS Network. We really appreciate. And don't forget that tomorrow we have 4 matches for you starting at 10 a.m. Hope that you can join us. And if you have kids, if you have grandkids, brothers and sisters playing, don't forget NFHS Network is the place to be. Again, final thoughts.
Just a fantastic effort here today by all the teams that were involved. A huge congratulations to today's champions, most recently Russellville. They go back to back, and not only that, looking at their recent history, they've now won 4 of the last 5 championships in the 5A. That's not bad at all. That's what you call a dynasty right there.
You got it. You got it.
The Cyclones have got something cooking up there in Russellville, and for Lakeside, a lot of promise on the horizon as Coach Pettigrew just starting to get his system underway. He was Coach of the Year in the 5A South, and he led this team all the way to the state title game. They've got nothing to hang their heads over. They played a great defensive battle here today, and you just come back to it next year, try to get back there. But also we got to give a shout-out to our other champions, because first one of the day was Harding Academy, a three-peat for the Wildcats. And then we can't forget Conway. The hometown kids get the win against a talented Springdale squad, 3-2. And Will Childers was firing at will today. He gave everyone the chills here in the stand. It was a hat trick for him. And then just recently, Samantha DeLuca leading Episcopal to the Wildcats' first title in program history. She had a hat trick as well. So we had a lot of exciting moments here, a lot of history going down today at Estes Stadium. But I'm just glad I was here to be a part of it, and glad I got to work with you again here today.
Good to see you, and hope to see you next year. Have fun, enjoy family reunion, and we'll see you next year.
All righty.
All right. With that, Again, thank you for being with us. You were watching the NFHS Network. We'll see you tomorrow.